Yeah, I'd just like to make our services available to anyone who feels like they could use an internet radio station or blogging facilities to be able to reach people in their own country. I'm particularly thinking of uh, anyone wanting to reach out to Muslims that are coming into their countries. You can do this from home in your home country. You can do it from anywhere in the world to log in. So if you are interested, we would love to help you by supplying you with the resources necessary. Just visit Mike at globalradiorh.org. You can email me there, Mike at globalradiorh.org, and we can help you to get started reaching your people from wherever you are.
Great.
That's great. That's great. I'm interested. That's great. Praise God.
So you guys connect with Michael, or if you don't and get that, reach out to me and I'll get you his connection.
Oh.
So yeah, I've oftentimes thought about doing agricultural programming and things like that, but I have a lot of irons in the fire, and it's a lot. So
Okay. Good. Thank you, Jesus.
so David, do you know Bill Frisbee?
Yeah, Frisbee, yeah.
He's a friend of mine.
Oh, that's great. He's my friend too.
Yeah.
He did leadership training here so many years ago. So I've been in contact with him. Yeah, we've been friends for years now.
Yeah, I used to go to his church in
Oh, he's in Indianapolis right now, I think.
yeah, Living Faith Fellowship. I used to go to that church, and that's where I know Bill from.
Wow. That's amazing.
Mhm.
That's amazing.
Facebook has made the world a small place.
Yeah. As they say, global village.
Hmm.
Wow, it's amazing. That's amazing.
I just sent you a friend request.
Okay. Go there. It's wonderful. Okay.
Yeah, I've met with Bill and looked at some of his materials and things like that before.
Okay. I just accepted your request. Okay.
Okay, cool.
So we're friends now on Facebook. Okay, that's good. Okay.
Patrick, I've just added you as a friend too.
Ah, you gonna go there now.
A request.
Let's-
So if I got the right person, he studied healthcare administration at the University of Phoenix, Arizona. Is that you? Is that you, Patrick?
Yes, that's me. I was just gonna unmute and answer.
Yeah.
Yes, it's me.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Political science, legal studies. Yeah, cool. I've
Yeah.
got really nice PowerPoint on and this might be from Michael too. I've got some really excellent material on the 78 factors that are necessary for a nation to move forward. And Wayne Grudem and Barry Asmuth in their book Poverty of Nations, a Sustainable Solution. I pulled all that information out of their book and put it in a PowerPoint. So took me quite a bit of time. Took me a whole week of time to put that together. And I've done presentations, training government officials in South Sudan and things like that with that material. And used it many times.
Oh, that's wonderful. Is that something you can make accessible to me? I'd like
Yeah,
to see it.
I can
read
send it to you.
Okay.
Send me remind me if I forget, but send a request to me and I'll send you the PowerPoint.
Okay, will do. Thank you so much.
So yeah, this is your time, guys, so feel free. Anything else? I haven't heard from Troy yet. I sometimes take pictures of the people that are on too, so I don't forget who was there. So who's Troy B? I don't see anything. What else do you guys want to talk about, or should we close?
We're looking forward to the convention next year.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be in Branson. So
We're looking forward to it. Planning to register.
yeah,
We'll be opening that up soon even.
yeah, we'll be opening the registration up soon, and we're gonna be visiting. Probably gonna plan to visit College of the Ozarks, and there's a ministry we've worked with many years. There, Lives Under Construction, that's there, and probably take some time and just go see the beauty of God's creation there in the Ozarks, and beautiful place for vacation. Add on a few extra days to do some vacationing there.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Great place.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I can attest to that. I've been to the Ozark about 3 years ago, and it's a beautiful place. And so that's something that I would like to get more information on too. So thank you for sharing
Okay.
that.
Me a reminder, because I get a lot of information, and I don't always follow up if people don't follow up with me. So yeah, good. And I see Troy has now turned his video on, so he's there, and looks like, are you joining us from overseas, Troy?
No, we're in Kansas, but
And
some people think that's a different country. So
Whereabouts in
yeah, what is that saying? You're not in Kansas anymore?
hey, Dorothy, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereabouts
then,
in Kansas are you from,
My
sir?
mother was born in Kansas, so and I have my ancestors plotted Kansas City there. So
Well, we're about 250 miles west of there. So
yeah.
Where are you in Kansas?
What's that?
we're northwest of Salina.
What's the town?
We're near Beloit.
Yeah. What town near Beloit?
Well, we've got a place in Beloit and another place at the farm, just a little bit south.
Tipton? Hunter?
No, not quite that bad.
You're in my old stomping grounds.
Uh-oh. We better be careful because the statute of limitations may not have passed yet.
So you live in Beloit?
Yes, we've got an apartment here. We've got some health issues and everything else, so we've had to slow down in our farming stuff. So
Dr. Chris Kemple was best man in my wedding. He's a doctor there, and he's retired.
yeah,
Dave Bailiff.
I know Dave. He used to be at the grind feed, and then he got into the preaching business. And then Chris, he's at the same church. Matter of fact,
Yes.
I actually.
And Kurt Schaefer.
Which one?
Kurt Schaefer, the banker.
Now, that's
Excuse
what
me,
I
he's the
don't.
lawyer. Kurt Schaefer's the lawyer, and then Doug Johnson's the banker.
No, Doug Johnson is the lawyer. And Schaefer, I've heard the name, but I can't place it. And then Chris, he's also the same
Right.
church. He's retired.
Yeah.
And he's out running around now. So
Troy, what's your last name?
I'm one of those honorary bohemians. Boshek.
B-O,
Uchek.
B-O-U-C-H-E-K.
Yeah.
I used to do a lot of business with Pruitt Farms as well.
Yeah, they're just south of there, probably about 12 to 15 miles there off 14 highway.
Yep.
If that's the right Pruitt. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Down by Barnard.
Yep. That's one of the areas where one of our farms are at in the Barnard area. So you know what I had to put up with then.
You're right next to some rough country.
Yeah, and they kind of think I'm one of the rough ones, or used to be. If you're from that area, there used to be a building out in the middle of nowhere, north of Ada or east of Barnard. Maybe you knew where it was.
I lived at Belleville at the time. I traveled. I worked for a feed company. We had a dealership at Solomon Rapids. I grew up in the Hutchinson, Little River area. But yeah, I traveled all over Mitchell County in my early years.
Mhm.
Max Dietz, his son was at K-State with me,
Mhm.
Doug Dietz. And of course, he was the manager of that feedlot there. So, yeah.
Yeah, Marcy, she moved out to his wife moved out to Colorado and everything. So, yep, small world. Have to get on Zoom to talk to people that we know other people on. So,
Did you ever been over to Harveyville area? That's where my mom was born. Oh, it's in the northeast a little bit. So
it doesn't sound familiar. I've got to run down to KU 4 times a year, med. And if it's along the interstate, I might have drove by it.
mhm. I don't know that it is. It's just a little country town. So yeah, still got relatives out there. So
May I make a request, please? Sorry, Dan.
yeah, what else do you guys want to talk about?
The gentleman that uh, that uh, is in Senegal. I would like to know his contact info as well. If you're still on here, I'd like to connect
He's
with
not
him.
on anymore.
Yeah.
But I can help you connect with him on Facebook because I caught him on Facebook. So
Sounds great.
and then
Sounds
I can also search my email and see if he's on if he contacted me by email. So one of those two ways we'll get a hold of him for you. Okay.
okay. Thank you so much, Dan.
Mm-hmm. That's great. You guys are both doing is Muslim ministry.
Yes, and we Senegal is just actually north of Sierra Leone, very
Right.
close together in the same West African region.
Mm-hmm.
So
I have a friend of mine who lives in Indiana. She was a missionary in Sierra Leone.
mm, mm. Yes, we do have a lot of missionaries there. I believe my very first connection or contact with non-Sierra Leonean, I think was a missionary lady. I was very little by then. She was a nurse, and all I could she was, I mean, I think I was probably 4 or 5 years old at that time. And she would use this stethoscope to examine my heartbeat, listen to my heart, and check my eyes, my vitals. But all I was interested in was who is this strange looking person, doing all this, to me. So we do have quite a bit of missionaries um, and sociologists, studying family dynamics. Cliff, you mentioned polygamy in Uganda. Same story in Sierra Leone. And so much of what you spoke on regarding Uganda also applies to Sierra Leone, and I can safely say uh, probably all of Africa, basically. And so you were right on the mark with that presentation regarding things that are happening in Africa. Even myself personally, um, my father had 3 wives as I was growing up, and that's something I vowed never ever to repeat or replicate, because I suffered the impact of it. you know. And so with this fellowship, these are all things that can be addressed as you are already doing it. It can be done in Sierra Leone as well. And I'm just thankful that I've come across you guys.
We spent 8 years in South Sudan, and we noticed that or pretty much any place I traveled in Africa, the men very infrequently live with their wives. When in well, I shouldn't say infrequently, but it's common for a man to be off somewhere else, making money for the family, and there's a lot of temptation that goes with that, with those many months of being away from the family. So that's just another um dynamic that we haven't even discussed here in this situation. And one of the young people that was working with me, he told me something interesting. He says, you American men, um we're different from you. We don't have to be around our wives. So, and then sometimes we heard, my wife would hear from the women that their husband coming back would complicate the things in the household. And they didn't really even appreciate the husband coming back. Sometimes that was the kind of attitude of some of the women. So it's an interesting dynamic.
Absolutely. Yes, it is. And um, uh, for those who don't know, as we continue the fellowship and continue these outreach ministries into these cultures, there's a lot you learn. There's a whole array of culture shock that you will experience. Uh, Simply, even just saying "I love you" is a rare statement in many families. You know, and so these are all things that we would like to teach our young people, because at this stage now we can only start with the young people and grow from there. And once the young people have role models that they can follow, whose examples they can watch and follow and copy, it may be difficult for them, because, like Cliff said, families can break apart because of things like that. We have to be there to support these young people as they face these challenges, and try to handle them head on. Because without our support and without strong prayer, spiritual backing, and things like that, it's very easy for them to just give up. you know. But that is something that I know the importance of it personally, and it's something that with the support of the group, prayers, and the Lord's backing, um, I, I mean, I believe God has put me into this group for a reason, and I will see what comes of it.
Patrick, that's very well said, all that you've said, and I'm so appreciative of Cliff too for picking out the Every Man a Warrior material, because that's like the perfect material for Africa. And um uh because because when you're a warrior like Jesus, as an example, and he showed us how he died to himself. You died to your own desires in a marriage. That's the thing that gains you respect from your wife, is to die to your own self and your own desires, and to serve others, including your wife, and put them first. And that's the most difficult thing. That's harder than being a macho man. It really is.
Yes, it is. And um, over the years, I've learned that uh, yes, we are leaders. Scripturally, we are leaders as men in the family. But I also believe that wives are co-leaders because they have strengths too in ways that we don't. And so we complement each other a whole lot. And that's something that I firmly believe in. And I'm saying all this. My fiance is on the line here with us. She's hearing it. But it's something that I believe in. It's something that I've practiced, and so I think this is um, let's say the ground is ripe, is fertile in Africa. The opportunities are great for ministries like this. Okay. Yes, there will be challenges. There's no denying that. But
Yes.
with the knowledge and the spiritual backing that we have, with the Lord on our side, because we're following scriptures as we are doing these outreaches. And so I believe that whatever comes our way, God's will be done. And with us as each other's support in a fellowship like this, I think we stand a strong army of God in that battlefield.
1 Peter 3:7 is a key verse. It says, likewise, husbands, live with your wives in an understanding way. As a weaker vessel, she's a woman, is a co-heir of the grace of life. And then the zinger at the end of the verse, so that your prayers will not be hindered. But one of the things that we fail to do is to look at what that word likewise refers back to. Likewise. And so I'm going to leave that to you to look at the context. And it goes all the way back to not only just the passage just directly above that, but the passage above that and the passage before that. Yeah, the point of the whole, some people get upset about it saying that the woman is the weaker vessel. Well, it's probably referring to just physical strength. And if the husband and the wife got into a fist fight, the man's going to win. Well, you don't treat her that way. And but no, the whole point of the verse is respect, and she's a co-heir of the grace of life. So that's why I responded the way I did with the 2 thumbs up when what you said there. So anyway, that's a key verse to sink your teeth into and think a lot about what the implications of that 1 Peter 3:7.
Thank you. I'm writing it down.
I'm going to make a note here too, is that my wife is kind of inviting me into this sort of type of discussion with her doctorates, or D-men in ministry. She's actually working on co-leadership with me of the fellowship. And just like Patrick said, she has a lot of skills that I don't have. And so we're kind of co-leading together, even though I may be up front as the leader. She's leading in a godly wife way from behind the scenes. And so we're actually co-leading together with me taking a lot of my direction from my wife because of her strong skills in so many ways. And so you'll see some more surveys and different things like that coming out. And we've already done some regarding the fellowship, and there's a leadership transition from Dennis to I, and there's now an office transition from our office in Lexington to here with new office staff. Everything has changed in terms of staff, except for the area leaders and what's happening out in the field. There's nobody that's original now in any of the administration of FCFI. Everybody is new. It's a lot of transition. So you can pray for us in that respect because of the transition we're going through. The new office manager has started this week, and she'll set foot in the office on Monday, and we've got all this stuff to put away and organize. It's a big task.
Amen. Amen. I'll keep that in prayers as well. And
Yeah.
currently, I have weekends off. I wouldn't mind driving to see you sometime, if that's a possibility, or we can meet halfway and sit and discuss about leadership in the ministry or in the outreach and things like that, and see how
Good.
things can
Good.
go.
Well, I will be over that way soon, probably at some point, because Wisconsin is a very active area for us. So, I have a question of Troy. Troy, how did you find out about us? Because I don't see you in our database. So how did you find out about us?
Well, I kind of watched the fellowship. I get my outfits confused here. For the Christian farmers, it seemed to me there used to be a United States one. Now there's an international one, and somehow, somewhere, I got it confused that there was one, then two, and then somehow I got on there, and I clicked on a couple times and watched, and now I get the little emails saying you're doing this, like this morning, and this was one of the few times I had time to actually step in, so that's why I'm snooping. And Clifton, you are right. Doug Johnson is the banker guarantee. There's another Johnson in town that's an attorney. And yeah, there is a Schaefer, he's an attorney, and he's in with the other Johnson that's an attorney. So
Yeah, Kurt's from Sharon Springs originally.
mhm.
I got a story on him, but we won't leave this.
Well, we better not talk about that here then.
So I'm gonna try this
Do you
under.
want to explain a little bit about what he was just talking about, Dan? What he was asking about?
What?
Yeah, so, sorry, let me pop in here again. I magically appear over Dan's shoulder at any time. So the Fellowship of Christian Farmers International is the global Fellowship of Christian Farmers International, primarily active in the United States. So we're the US based Fellowship of Christian Farmers. Sometimes we just say Fellowship of Christian Farmers, but our official name is Fellowship of Christian Farmers International. We did found the Canadian Fellowship of Christian Farmers of Canada, and they are an independent organization now. But Fellowship of Christian FCFI is the US based, but international organization. There's only one. Since Dan and I came on with Fellowship of Christian Farmers, because we've lived overseas, we probably have a little bit more of an international focus. So I know when I refer to Fellowship of Christian Farmers, I always make sure that I include the international that has always been part of our name, but sometimes is left off. So it's same organization. The US version that you were referring to is just Dan and I. We're US based, and we have a US focus for sure, but we also have an international focus that's being emphasized probably a bit more lately. Does that
But-
make sense?
And you'll see
Yes,
a lot
yes.
more activity soon with the international, because I've the office manager that I've hired has background in international work, and she really enjoys that. So I'm sure that we're going to be doing a lot more as looking at international work in the future. So we're excited about that.
Yeah.
We spent like 2 months looking at different candidates for the position that would have a ministry focus and almost like an operations manager type capacity to carry us forward. So we're really excited about the new hire we have.
I think one of the main differences from historically what we've done internationally to what we want to do moving forward is that the international historically meant the US members took short-term mission trips to international locations. We actually believe that they oftentimes were supporting farmers in international locations who would then support their own communities. We believe that what has happened in the United States with farmers coming together to help other farmers can happen just like that internationally as well. And so it's not just always the US going overseas to help. Sometimes it's a mutual sharing of knowledge and a mutual encouragement. This is a global culture nowadays, right? And we
Yes.
believe that the international farming community has just as much to offer their own communities as what the US farming community has to offer US farming communities. So we just want to empower people in their own communities to be impactful.
To steward their local resources with excellence, such that they themselves will be participating in the Great Commission, not only locally but regionally and to the uttermost parts of the world, which has got to happen because the supply of missionaries coming from the U.S. U.S. and the developed world is diminishing, and now it's Africa and Asia and the Middle East's turn to send out missionaries to evangelize, where they're going to their own cultures, which is a whole lot more effective for as a missions opportunity. So and these principles that God is a benevolent God, and he distributed resources everywhere in the world, and he didn't leave any part out. So those resources we expect those resources to be utilized with high levels of efficiency and excellence. And we encourage from all countries across the world one another, and in this excellence in resource stewardship. And the farmer is a great example of resource stewardship and excellence, using whatever appropriate technology they have. And it's just great when Cliff comes on and shows new technologies that can be shared everywhere in the world. And so this is really awesome. So we share technology, we share encouragement, and we press on to the upward call.
Amen to that. And it's I mean, I'm feeling thrilled, to hear both of you talk about sharing resources and empowering citizens of Africa, farmers of Africa. Because the presentation I was going to, or that I prepared for this meeting, if there was time, speaks exactly to what you two just said. Okay, so my fiance just reminded me to send you the slides of that presentation. Just
Okay.
so you can view them and preview them before I even talk about them,
Okay.
if and when the opportunity comes.
Well, Patrick, we've got another Zoom meeting starting now, actually, and we've got to run, and so we're signing off and seeing you guys later. So if further
we'll stay in
communication
touch.
by email and by other, and I think Patrick, you have my email and stuff. So I've written to you, I think. So
Yes, you have, and I'll be
Okay.
in touch via email. Thank you so much. Thank you,
okay,
everybody.
bye-bye. Thank you,
And,
Cliff.
yes, nice.
Bye,
meeting
everybody.
All of you. Bye now.